I'm originally from Denver, Colorado, and I did my undergraduate at CU Boulder. I actually did a degree in psychology and English literature, and then after that I pursued a master's degree in literature because I was confused what I wanted to do. And then I finally ended up coming back to psychology, and I got my PhD at the University of Chicago in 2011 in social experimental psychology. So my primary line of research examines stereotyping and prejudice. By that I mean I'm interested in looking at how people might prejudge others based on their social category memberships. Beyond that, I'm also interested in looking at how individual differences within the social category, like skin tone, nose size, lip size, hair texture, things like that, might further inform how we might judge other people. So some of my research might look at how this individual differences in what we refer to as prototypicality might make somebody more prejudicial towards somebody or more stereotyping of another person. I actually maintain a pretty active lab here at CSUN. I have both undergraduate and graduate students in the lab, and about a dozen or so at any given time. Undergraduate students can participate in the lab by helping collect data, analyze data, present research at local conferences and national conferences, and we meet usually weekly to talk about contemporary readings in stereotyping and prejudice, or to talk about research projects that are going on in the lab. Graduate students in the lab get to develop their own research ideas that relate to stereotyping and prejudice and carry out those projects over the span of 2 years. And so we get pretty close in terms of one-on-one mentoring and talking about research projects, and then those graduate students usually help advise a smaller team of undergraduates in the lab as well. I have two graduate students in the lab, Kathy and Heather. Kathy is interested in looking at how prototypicality, or individual differences within racial categories, might differentially influence how identified those individuals are with their racial category. So you can imagine that somebody who is less prototypic in terms of their physical features might also identify less with the social groups that they belong to. And so her research is looking at implicit or automatic racial identification. Heather is the other graduate student in my lab, and she's interested in understanding the cognitive processes that underlie feature-based stereotyping, or stereotyping that's based on these within category differences, physical features and whatnot. And her research is looking at how categorization processes might mediate feature-based stereotyping compared to direct associations between features and traits that people might learn over time. If you're interested in joining the lab or maybe talking about some research ideas, then I would suggest that you go to my website, which is linked on this page, and there you can see some of the projects that we're working on and read some of the papers that our lab has published. And there's also an application there, if you click the Join the Lab link, that you can fill out and email me. I joined the faculty in fall of 2011, and I've taught both at the undergraduate and graduate level. So in my undergraduate courses, I've focused on social psychology, research methods, and also offered a capstone in stereotyping and prejudice. My graduate courses that I've taught so far are looking at big historic debates in social psychology, and I also plan to teach our prep course for professional development to our entering graduate students next year. One of the things I like best about teaching is when students come to office hours and talk to me about their other classes or other novel questions that they had while I was lecturing on material. And when students come to office hours, they have an opportunity to meet Mulligan here.